There we go. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is SCREENRANT. I love to play Red Orchestra 2. You shouldn't play, though, because it's too hard for you. But I'm not here to talk about that today. I'm here to talk about a certain someone that most of you guys probably already know. I'm here to talk about the YouTuber Ryan George. There's no drama with him. There's no problem with him from what I've seen behind the scene videos and what I've seen from his other videos. He seems like a pretty good guy. There's nothing special about me that I'm going to say about him. But I wanted to make a little video about it, not about him directly, but about what happened to SCREENRANT after he left. And that's what I'm going to be talking about right now. So I got to talk a little bit about what SCREENRANT is. So SCREENRANT is a YouTube channel. And this YouTube channel has, as you can imagine, a lot of subscribers, a lot of people that watch their videos. And at this point, they basically become a content farm for YouTube videos. Now, if you don't know what a content farm is, basically they're putting out as many random videos about random stuff, just trying to get as many clicks from as many types of, what do you call it, like the covers of different things, just so that they can attract as many people and as quickly as possible. And they're shitting out a video like day after day after day after day after day. And they're putting out more and more content every day just to try and reach that one super viewed video. You know what I'm trying to say? Like they're striking all the chords, so to say. They're going with a xylophone, like ding, 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 and they find the one that strikes, and they just keep pushing that. And then when that ends, they find another xylophone piece or another piano piece, whatever you want to, piano key, I guess. Click it and see which one is the one that works. It's the same thing that a lot of YouTubers do. It's the same thing that a lot of people do. It's the same thing that probably, in my opinion, JonTron was trying to do with all his latest videos that, like I said before in one of the videos that I made before, that JonTron has been basically trying to make videos and trying to replicate that success that he had with Flex Tape. And like some people said in the comments section of that video, it's mostly that his topics, that he doesn't know what's going to attract people. And he has good editing skills. I don't know if he edits his videos anymore. I have no idea. But I know that he worked with a freckle-faced person that used to record him behind the camera. I don't know if that person's still working with him. And what mostly would draw people in would be the editing and the fact that JonTron would just talk out of the blue about the most outlandish shit. Like the Flex Tape video remains his most viewed video by far, 70 million views if I'm not crazy. People couldn't get interviews with the Flex Tape guy, Phil Swift. They couldn't get interviews with the guy. He was at one point he was the hottest commodity, but there he goes. He's doing a show with JonTron, and then he does a sequel. And I'm pretty sure that Flex Tape paid him. And good fucking job, man, because I think that a lot of people got the message that Flex Tape actually works. I mean, if you're showing it working, there's no reason to believe that it wouldn't. And I think there have been some videos about people trying to recreate the same thing that Phil Swift did, which is chop that boat in the middle and then split it open and then put it in together with Flex Tape and saying, hey, we did it, but you shouldn't do it. Kind of stuff like that. Totally getting off track here. But my point is that, JonTron kind of did really good for a period of time, and then he kind of plummeted, in my opinion, again, for the same reason. The topics were just not as interesting, like best reviewed products on Temu or whatever the fuck, some other stuff that he was doing. And it wasn't really bad, it wasn't really good, but he's still getting, like I said in that video, it's not like his channel is dead. But, going from getting 7, 6, or 5, which are still a lot of views, to going then into 1 million, and taking a while to reach that. Normally when JonTron would upload, I remember there was a time when JonTron would upload 2-3 years ago, and 1 day away, 2 days, in 1 week at most, maybe less than that, 5 days, 4 days, you would get 1 million views, and he would get 5, 6. And then afterwards, again, his videos would be uploaded, and they would take a month to reach 1 million views. Again, huge, very good numbers, but never what he was doing in the past. And obviously got a lot of dislikes because people don't like my take, even though there's evidence of what I'm pointing out, because that's what I like to do. I like to point out evidence. I made a video about Disney yesterday or 2 days ago where I was talking about how Disney essentially has been fucking up everything by going woke. And they've been in the 3rd fiscal year where they have had losses. So they're losing money and they keep pushing this shit. Whatever. The videos are there in the channel if you want to watch them. But like I said, I wanted to talk a little bit about SCREENRANT and Ryan George. So, in case people don't know about Ryan George is a YouTuber. He started out almost at the beginning of YouTube, 14 years ago, 15, 17 years ago, and he was making pretty fun videos. And he had editing skills. He knows stuff that I don't know. I don't know how to edit videos. That's why I have this format. I don't know how to edit videos. I'm not good at it. I can edit very simple stuff. Very, very, very simple stuff. With Wondershare Filmora, which apparently, according to what I read, is not a very good tool to edit. And I should have gotten like Adobe, whatever the hell it's called. Adobe Editor. I don't know what it's called. Adobe Premium. Something like that. I don't know. Which I might do in the future if I knew how the hell to do things on that editor. If I knew how to use it, I would be editing videos because it sounds super fun, but I'm not good at editing right now. Hopefully in the future, or if I can find a person to edit videos, that'd be really cool. Just like paying like $25, $30 per video. I would pay a guy $30 per video just to edit it. If you're interested, ring me up. And then Ryan George comes in and he starts to edit videos and he does a pretty good job. And then there's like a gap, a really big gap. I'm going to show you this in a second. There's a really big gap in all the time that he was uploading because he was uploading with another channel and he kind of left his channel in the dark. And then he came back and it was like a fucking freight train. That thing like came in, guns blazing, bulls blazing, guns blazing. There's like shooting everywhere and getting lots of views for a channel that had been inactive for such a long time. But the thing that's really interesting about this is he was the reason that I think most of us, I mean regular people, discovered ScreenRant. ScreenRant is just this big company, and they're going the way of like all the other, like, I guess Machinima and all these other like content creating websites that have to like be putting out all these like different things on YouTube all the time just so that they can get that sweet ad revenue from the views. But then you watch it and it's like, they're not really doing a good job. And that's why I got this right here. So let me just put this over here, like try to show you what I'm talking about. So, this is ScreenRant, and I just Googled up, the most popular stuff that they have, and this is what they have, and it's pretty good, That would have changed everything. I doubt it, man. And they have like the most like, clickbaity crap that they can see. I know about this stuff, not because I watched the video, but because I've watched other videos. That's the one with the hair that like goes to the shoulder. This is the girl that's sucking his cock. This is like the girl, yeah, exactly, from that thing. I don't care about this. Bane, burn, shocking facts about the minions. And this is the kind of garbage that people want to watch. What the fuck? And then Strict Rules, Margot Robbie, blah, 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 blah. And they have plenty of views right now. But then you start seeing when they were uploaded, and it's like, oh, okay. This is like what I'm talking about, what I was talking about before. They kind of just go for like, content farming. It's like, anything that you can create that is good, bam, 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 bam. They just keep pulling it out. And then you go over to their latest stuff, and their oldest stuff. I mean, this is what they're talking about. This is what they had in the past before they became like a full-on content farm. You can see what's going on. They did try, and I bless them for trying. And they didn't really hit it with anything big. And then eventually, I don't know when it happened, they ended up getting a video with like, that like. Epic trailer for disappointing movies, and they got 1 million views. And then they kind of just went from there and they said, okay, you know what? We need to turn it into this, which is the right idea, by the way. This is kind of what you want to do. Also, Insurgent is terrible. That Divergent and Insurgent, I had to watch that with an ex-girlfriend. That's a terrible movie, completely unrelated to anything. But this is how they did it. And then they hit it big with biggest movie mistakes you miss. And then they go like, okay, this is where we need to focus, which I think is fine. I think if you're making a company, you're kind of like I said, you're kind of like tainting the ground. You're trying to feel around and you're trying to find what you're doing. But then, oh my God, Michael Cera? Oh, Scorpio versus the World. That movie sucked. Then you go into the popular, but then you go into latest, and this is what happens to, I guess, a lot of these like big ass like websites. Largest sort of breaking entertainment. Is that true? Because I'm pretty sure that you can make a lawsuit if someone like says that. But then you start to look at their like, let's look at their last month. Again, this is what they do. This is how they do it. They pay an intern probably like $10 per video, and they say like, we're gonna pay you $10, and everything that you get from the views, like maybe you'll get like 0.1%. I don't know how they do it. I have no idea. But this is how they've done in the last month. So you can just see the views. It's 5,000, 4,000, 5,000. Some of them will get like 30,000. It's like, oh, okay. And then they go back to like 12, 5,000, 3,000, 3,000. And again, for a channel that has, how many subscribers? I just said it. A channel that has, 8.5 million subscribers, these are bad numbers, okay? There's just no way to put it. If I If I were putting out videos that got like 2,000, 3,000 views, I would be fucking ecstatic. These guys are not. These guys are not getting shit. This is the shit that they're getting right now, and this is what they're trying to do, and this is how they're trying to do it. And this is just what they're trying to do right now. You see? This is the crap. They're just trying to go for the hardest stuff, and they're just trying to like farm it. And if you click on the video, you're gonna see that it's just like recapping exactly what the title says, which is kind of okay, but good. Shut up, please. Please stop. Please stop. It's all this crap. So they're basically recapping, highlights Mary's hypocrisy, blah, 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 blah. And this is what they're talking about all the time. And really, like I said, this is what they're talking about. They recap like very small things. And this is how they do it, you know? I don't like this kind of content because it feels like pretty like tacked on for a channel that's supposed to be like, again, 8.5 million subscribers. Like there's not really a whole lot of production. Again, I get it, and I'm happy for them that they're getting that many views from crap. But if you're a channel with like 8.5 million subscribers, you're supposed to be doing something a lot better than this. And then we go to Ryan George. And I'm going to get to the reason of why I made this video. And here he is making sketches, old pod. I've watched this one. This is actually pretty funny. Next Batman villain, there we go. He was editing good stuff, and he was creative from the start. You can see that he's like trying. And this is the first video that I watched from him. And this was back when he was still doing stuff on what's the name of that channel? On SCREENRANT. He was still doing stuff on SCREENRANT. So I was like, okay. And then you watch this, and it's like, okay, cool. This is good stuff. And then you like it. But then, and this is something that I skipped over with the other one, by the way, which is not this. It's this, which is SCREENRANT, and this is very important. And what's the name of this? Pitch meeting. So the pitch meeting thing was a thing that they had that Ryan George was doing, and this was the real thing that kind of got me into SCREENRANT. I had no idea about this, but here's where it is. Okay, so SCREENRANT right here, they had the Watchmen pitch rant, and they probably have a playlist around here. I don't remember where it is, but I know they had a playlist for this. It's fine. Anyway, it doesn't really matter. But the thing that matters is that they had this, and they had the pitch meeting. Now, I want to point out, again, the likes are huge. The amount of likes are huge. The views are really large because this is consistent viewership. This is what you really want to go for. And then you see SCREENRANT, Daredevil pitch meeting, and this is all Ryan George. This was all that he was doing. This was the real champion of SCREENRANT. This guy was the man. Like, look at that, 3.4 million views. That's amazing. And I know he got the majority of those like really quickly. Like this wasn't a video that he would just upload and then people would forget. Most of the pitch meetings are funny because of Ryan George. And it's literally because of him. He's the only one that's doing the video. He's talking to himself in the same video. And that's the beautiful thing about it. It's cheap to make. He has to make creative ideas. He makes good comedy. And then all of a sudden, when you look into the other stuff and you're like, oh, this is still fun. I love this Ghostwriter pitch meeting. But then we go here into what I was showing you before, which is the pitch meeting. So when did this come out, by the way? You might be shocked to learn. February 22 of 2022, which is the last day that I assume that was the last day that Ryan George was working on SCREENRANT, because this guy was like getting all the views for SCREENRANT. This was the reason why most of us, I guarantee, the people that are watching this, if you discovered SCREENRANT, it was more than likely because of this guy, because of Ryan George talking to himself, discussing movies, and putting a couple of clips and making some funny observations and pointing out the stupidity of pitch meetings, of how they work, of how they make movies. And that's what made it so entertaining. So everyone loved it. And then you watch this, and the oldest one, you can see it. Ultimate MCU. These are just compilations of everything that he made in the past while he was working for them, because he probably had some kind of deal at one point. I don't know how this happened, and without talking to him, I could never confirm it. My theory is that he had a conversation with someone, And he said, you know what, you guys can keep the views, but I want to make a compilation of everything, and this channel is mine, and you guys can't take this because this was my original idea. I hope he signed a contract for it. Without talking to him, I can't really confirm it. I'm going to ask him. I'm just going to ask him in social media. I don't know if he has social media for this. I probably is going to view his email address, and I'm going to email him. I'm just asking a quick question to see if we can get an answer out of him. But if you look at this, you're going to see that, look at all the views. Again, look at all the views that he's getting in such a short amount of time. 2 years, all of these views for video, for a channel which has 1.25 million subscribers. That means that the subscriber base is very active. It's not like a lot of YouTubers, like big YouTubers that have like 50 million subscribers and like half of them are dead and the other half grew up, and then you have like maybe 1% of viewership. But look at all the views in 2 years, and then look at all the views in 1 year. This is a lot of ad revenue, and this guy is getting a lot of money for this, which I like. Oh, by the way, I remember this one. The Rings of Power is garbage. And then you just look at all of it, and he's still making these, and they're still funny, and that's the important thing. And there's a little drop off there. That's fine. Maze Runner is terrible. Wrath of the Titans, I watched that movie. That's garbage. And he just looks at it, revisited. Obviously, these are things that he already talked about. Rebel Moon is terrible. And he just keeps talking about it. And you can see that there's a little bit of a drop-off, or a big drop-off in his case, but they're still getting a lot of views because it's still interesting. It's still funny. He's still getting a lot of views. And at the same time, and this is so important to clarify, he still has his other channel, which if you see popular, it's got a lot of views. And he's very consistent with it. And that's the main thing that's important about this. He has good ideas, short ideas that he transforms into relatively short videos, 4 or 5 minutes long. And he makes all this stuff, and he's making like maybe like a tenth of all the videos that ScreenRant is doing, so that they can try to strike big. Now, I don't know why ScreenRant got rid of, or rather, I don't know why Ryan George decided to leave ScreenRant. I'm going to assume, this is only an assumption, that Ryan George left it because he was probably not getting enough ad revenue out of it. Like maybe the deal wasn't good, maybe something wasn't working out. We don't know. I don't know. I could ask him, but he's probably not going to answer. I'm going to try to ask him on Twitch, I guess, or I'm sorry, I always say Twitch instead of Twitter. Twitter. Maybe ask him that question, like why did he leave ScreenRant, and if he can say it, or if there was an NDA somewhere in the middle. But my whole point about this, and what I wanted to show, is that ScreenRant had their golden goose at one point. Like they struck gold on making this like hype videos with like good covers that said like, this is the 10 sexiest scenes of Disney. And people are like, holy shit, I'm going to click on that. Because that's clickbait. And then you watch it and it's like, okay, this is exactly what I clicked on, so they're going to like it. But then they start to realize that that's a very shallow well of water. That shit reaches a limit and then you're dry. There's not a lot. It's a very shallow, it's a kiddie pool. It's like, very shallow thing. It's going to get you a lot of views. It's going to get you a lot of content, but it's not going to let you perpetuate your content. So what they're doing now, and you saw it while I was showing you this, is that they're just trying to strike it big again. They're trying to go viral again because that's the only business model that they have to survive. Why am I talking about this? I'm talking about it because these content farmers and the people that make this type of content farms on YouTube, you know them. They're on YouTube. You've seen them. There are a lot of channels that just post garbage, hoping to strike big. And they're getting pennies on the dollar for their views and everything. But they're uploading so much that eventually something or someone is going to stick, and it's going to be like, here, we got it. We stuck through it. And that's it. That's how it works. There's always going to be some people that are going to be watching. They're always going to have like those like 2,000, 3,000 viewers per video. But that's, again, for a firm that's supposed to have 8.5 million subscribers, that's embarrassing. I have 200 and something subscribers, 218 subscribers, I think, at this moment. If I had a 1 view video, I'd still be happy because I have 0 expectations. But if I try to base my business around making as much viral content as I can, and yet make this, there's something really wrong over there. Meanwhile, the correct focus, and this is the reason why I wanted to make this video, the correct focus is, in my opinion, to do what Ryan George is doing. Ryan George puts out quality videos, which are relatively short, entertaining, there's editing involved, there's effort involved, there's practicality involved. There's like actual beauty involved to this. They're clever. They're funny. If you watch some of his videos, like one off the top of my head is how we name tools, the screwdriver, for example. That's a funny video. Or the first person that tries to scam you, or the first robber, or the first. These things are things that I can remember, and I don't remember a lot of other videos, but I can remember the names of videos because they're interesting and funny, and they're enthralling. They're fun to watch, and that's kind of what you want when you're watching a content creator. You want to watch fun videos. I don't want to watch, for example, again, just taking the example of JonTron. I don't want to watch JonTron like, I don't know, like piss in a bucket and then drink it. I don't. It would be very good content because a lot of people would be watching it if we're taking the approach of saying like, hey, we got a lot of viewers, so hey, that's going to get you a lot of viewers. That's cool. Let me just put this over here. That would be fantastic, but that's not how it works. Because then they're going to say, okay, now we have to up the ante. And there's just not that many things that you can get. Remember that also there's another problem. We stopped living in the age of clicking, what do you call it? Bait. What do you call it? Baiting? Video baiting. Like, you won't believe what happened. And then that happens. And then you watch the video, it's like not even related to it. And then people stop. There have been many YouTubers that have been trying that stuff for years. And that thing, thankfully, eventually dropped out. There was that one YouTuber, I don't remember his name, that used to make like shitty clickbait videos about Fortnite all the time. I forgot his name. Sunny V2 made a video about him, I think. And that guy, basically his entire shtick was clickbait videos, clickbait, clickbait, clickbait. And when he stopped doing that, his channel died. And his channel was already dying because people were like, why saying up to this? They were like, what the fuck? Like, okay, when this timer reaches 0, we're going to get the new update. Okay, here we go. And then he would reset the timer. Okay, if you guys subscribe, I'm going to send 10 cards to people. That's not how it works. That's stupid. That's not how anything works. That'd be like if I told you guys, if you subscribe, if you give it a like, I'm going to send you money. That's not how it works. That's not possible. It's illegal, I'm pretty sure. And is how am I going to contact you? And people ate that shit up. Remember, there was a period of time for the last 10 years when clickbait, that's the name. Clickbait used to be the thing that got people interested in YouTube. Like, they would be like, you won't believe what happens in this. God damn it. Secret discovered about this thing. Or something incredible happened. You won't believe it. That Pro CD made a video about it. Like, you won't believe. You won't believe, and it has 100 million viewers. Well, I said I wouldn't believe it. It's the same thing. Clickbait was a thing on YouTube's time. Now it's not. Now it's been like severely, drastically downplayed by YouTube and YouTube's algorithm, I guess. So now it's more normal. Like if you make a good video, again, I always bring the example of Civi11. He was consistent with his videos. He always made good content, and then finally people were like, "This stuff is great." And now he's making like, I don't know, like 5, 6, maybe even more money, $1,000 on Patreon per month, not including ad revenue. That guy deserves it. That guy makes a lot of money, and he deserves it because of the amount of effort that he puts into the videos and the quality of the writing and the comedy and everything. That's the whole point that I'm trying to make. The objective for YouTubers, me not being a YouTuber, me just being a random guy from YouTube. I'm not a YouTuber. Just because I upload a few random videos per day doesn't mean I'm a YouTuber. I will never be famous on YouTube, and I don't care, which is good because there's no expectation to win. There's no expectation to lose. So I'm happy. I'm just having fun with this. But the main objective would be make a video that's relatively short. So let's say between 3 and 6 minutes, maybe 10, that has good editing, good quality, is entertaining, and it's not like saturating the entire website. Because when Ryan George uploads, which I'm subscribed to his channel, and you should definitely subscribe to Ryan George's channel, then you're gonna be like, okay, when he uploads, and he might upload, once every like week, or maybe once every 5 days, maybe once every 4 days, but that when he uploads, he's gonna put out something funny. And then you look at the thumbnail and you're like the first person to rob someone, and you watch it and it's entertaining, and then you want more of that, so you subscribe and you like the video and you share it with your friends, which is the idea, and then they watch it and they're funny and they get more subscribers, and that's how you're supposed to grow, like word of mouth and like YouTube algorithm. Instead, you get websites like ScreenRant that lost their golden goose. This was Ryan George was the golden goose of their channel when he was doing the pitch meetings, because he was getting, again, remember the comparison of views, 5,000, 3,000 views per video versus Ryan George, who could consistently upload all those things and get millions of visitors, even 500,000, even if that's not too much for them, that's a huge number for any kind of website. Again, obviously depending on the amount of subscribers. If you have 100 million subscribers and you're getting 1,000 views per video, something went wrong. Look at Darkside Phil. He's the worst YouTuber in the world, and he's a scammer and a groomer, and there's evidence of this, and YouTube protects him, and his videos get an average of like 200, 300 views, and he's supposed to have 200,000 subscribers. But that's also because he's stupid, and he like removed his channel, and he deleted like 3 different channels that he had, and he has also a dead channel called DSP Reacts, which are all terrible. So you know what I'm trying to say. Like, that guy you can have 1 million subscribers, but if you are getting 1,000 views per video, something is wrong in that equation. Now imagine for a minute, just for a hot minute, if instead of just trying to look at every fucking piece of the xylophone and the piano until they find one that ding clicks, imagine if they actually put effort into making these videos. Imagine if they actually paid someone like actual money, or if they got whoever's doing the job to say, okay, let's find a good topic. Or we can just like shit out into the keyboard and to YouTube and to the channel and see if something will eventually strike. And what you saw is just 2,000, 2,000, 2,000, 3,000, 10,000, 2,000, 2,000, 1,000, 5,000, 1,000, 2,000. That's not how you're supposed to do it. That's not how an 8.5 million subscriber channel is supposed to be doing. I can't even imagine what they must be going through. If I assume they have an office complex somewhere. Most of these big YouTube channels have supposedly big offices somewhere. They probably got like a group of people. Let's say 100 people working for them. That means there's 100 like poor drones out there getting paid nickels on the dollar or pennies on the dollar or cents on the dollar, nothing, just so that they can keep pumping out this crap. It's like, all right, you're good at editing videos. All right, I want you to make a video about Aladdin, the politics of Arabia in Aladdin. Okay, cool. Am I gonna get a script? No. Do it. Okay. So they do it in like a day, maybe. There's not that much editing that goes into one of their videos. There's zero editing that goes into mine. God forbid. I can't be a hypocrite about it. But then they pull it out, and they probably if you're getting 1,000 views, let's say that's $1 per view. They're getting, even if they shit out all this content, how much do you think they're making from ad revenue? And they're definitely not getting a lot from sponsorships. I don't see a lot of sponsorships. I know that Ryan George has sponsorships, and I'm okay with that. As a viewer, I'm okay with Ryan George having sponsorships if it helps to pay for his stuff. I think that is great because I enjoy his content. If I didn't enjoy his content and he was shilling out to people, I'd be like, oh, well, that's kind of crappy, but you got to get paid too. But ScreenRant, nah, man, 2,000 views per video. How are you going to live off of 2,000 views per video? Again, I'm going back to Darkside Phil. Imagine that his channel got demonetized and everything, which I hope happens because he's breaking terms of service every day by scamming people. But imagine that he lost all his channel income revenue. What will he do? Shill his Patreon probably. He has a Patreon with $200 per month, which is pathetic. And it's probably 2 people again that are paying for it. And or maybe I don't know, have a YouTube channel that actually does good content. No. Better to have shitty content and just poop it out, keep going, like an endless turd that you keep shitting out and then you eat it and then it keeps coming out of your asshole. It's just a perpetual circle of shit. There's no way that ScreenRant is making enough money to survive if they're getting 2,000 or 3,000 average views per video. None. Can they ever get Ryan George back? I doubt it. The offer that they would have to give him would be please, Ryan, please come back. We'll pay you double what you were making, triple. He'd probably still be like, no, I think I'm gonna stay, and he'll just tell them to go fuck themselves. And again, this is only an assumption. I'm gonna actually ask him on social media. I don't know if he's gonna answer. He's probably not gonna answer. He's a busy guy. He's famous. He's YouTube famous. He knows what's up. He's not gonna answer. But what's gonna happen with this? What's the future of ScreenRant? Do they just wait until they hit something big, or is it just? I'm going to assume the worst. Let's say that ScreenRant is just one person or like a group of 5 people that don't have an office. They're sharing a house, but it's not even an office, and they're like pumping out this content daily. That's my only conclusion, because they're not making enough money to survive off of what they're doing right now. And if they are, for 5 people, that would be very little. Like if you make $1,000 per month from YouTube while you have another job, I think that's great. That's $12,000 a year that you're making. But if you're supposed to be living off of this, of Screen Rant, and your channel gets of 8.5 million subscribers, 1,000, 2,000 views on average, there's a problem there. If you have 8.5 million subscribers, I assume that there are more people working behind the cameras. And these people are not getting paid right now with the amount of videos that they're producing. So it's kind of like a question of what the hell is going on. Like, is ScreenRant going to try to hire him back? How can ScreenRant get back into the business of making good content for people? Can they do it? Hitting those viral videos is hard, man. I'm never going to make a viral video. The closest thing to a viral video that I had was a video that I made about Pro Jared and how he was never forgiven by the internet, because Pro Jared, like, he was accused of grooming a girl, like sending dick pics or trading like pics with a 16-year-old girl, and for the divorce, and he didn't know, and he showed confirmation. Sorry, my screen is dirty. He showed confirmation that no, as a matter of fact, he did ask her many times, like, "Are you sure you're 18?" And she said yes, 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 and then she lied, and he was caught in the lie, and then he proved that he wasn't guilty, but he still got his channel fucked up and nuked, and now he has to live off of Twitch. He said it, not me. It's the same idea. Anyway, that's all I really wanted to talk about. Ladies and gentlemen, this is SCREENRANT signing off. If you like the video, you click the dislike button, and if you want to continue watching more videos on my channel, click the not subscribe button, because that's how it works. And if you like the video, subscribe, like, you know what to do. You're smart enough to know. And if you want to drop a follow on Twitch, I would very much appreciate it. Follows on Twitch? Yes. I am a slut for followers on Twitch. I will suck at... No, I won't. I will not. I would consider it, but I won't do it. Ladies and gentlemen, this is SCREENRANT signing off. Take care of yourselves, and I'll see you guys soon. Peace out. Bye-bye. Peace.